Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sherry and this is day 90 of my 100-day project where I am pulling 3 random prompts and doing mixed media and collage on an index card. The prompts I pull today are flip it upside down at the end, use only straight lines, and scrap paper. So right away I figure out the piece of scrap paper that I want to use, and you see it there on the screen with the blue, red, green, yellows. So I use some water-soluble crayons to use those colors because I'm thinking I'm going to use that piece of scrap paper on the card. Then I, use water to set the crayons, and I continue to play around with focal points and try to make that scrap paper work. And it doesn't. So I pivot, which you'll see coming up here in a moment. So as I start to bring out these little pieces of scrap cardboard, I'm realizing this is not working. It's not, I don't know, it's just, I'm not vibing with it. I really like the lines on that cardboard. And what I decide to do is use a larger piece of cardboard to lean into the straight line piece and use the scrap paper cardboard to stamp on more straight lines. So it's, unconventional use of scrap paper here, but I'm going with it because this to me looks interesting and unusual, which I like to lean into. And as I'm leaning into these lines, I'm remembering that I have some old luggage tags with those scan barcodes on them. And so I pull those out and I snip them and arrange them on the front of the card. And I'm liking how this looks. I like how this looks. I'm just leaning really heavily into the straight line piece of it. And I come in with pen because I've done this technique before with little scrap pieces of paper, and then I've come back in and slow stitched with embroidery thread, and I didn't want to do that on this card, so I get a black pen and I just make little X's like where stitching would be. And I go with it because that's what we do here with intuitive collage, is we just go with it and make it work. So I'm getting all the little stitching marks laid down, and I'm looking at the card and realizing that my eye isn't landing anywhere. So I need a couple elements for my eye to land on, and I incorporate that into the flip it upside down at the end. So the card right side up has SMF in the bottom right corner, and then I flip the card around and add that gate check block to just give your eyes something to look at, and so that it makes sense when it's upside down. And if you were wondering if I rounded the corners, I sure did. And I also added some black ink around the edges and a couple little bits here of that scan, just to give the edges some more interest, and wrapping this one up and calling it good. So this is day 90. Flip it upside down at the end, use only straight lines and scrap paper.